From the Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Dale and Scott.
That's a much better one that we've had in a while.
It's actually the second time I played it, but yeah, I do like it. It's kind of fun. Hey guys, welcome to this episode. It's called The Last One Until July
Of 2025.
No. We're taking a break. This is our last spring episode. When we come back, it'll be well into the summer. Well, not well into the summer.
It will just have begun.
Yeah, we're taking June off. Yeah, we're going to take June off. We're going to be pretty busy in June. We got some special projects we're working on, and it's just the way it goes. First your money, then your clothes. I mean, we've been pretty much doing shows back to back to back to back since Christmas, so we deserve a break today. You rule. Hey, did you know it's Burger King's 70th anniversary?
I think I did know that. I think I heard that somewhere.
I see Burger King commercials every single night when we get in bed.
They're not doing well.
No.
As a corporation, they're not doing
Unfortunately, because I actually think their burgers are better than McDonald's.
I do agree with you on that.
It's their other stuff that I don't like.
But they are starting to do, which is my biggest complaint about McDonald's, and this is why Chick-fil-A will always be better with service, is that their menu is too damn big.
All of them. That's why Chick-fil-A is doing well, because they don't have 50,000 things.
Right, and they have Burger King has commercials now for one sandwich. You can get it 3 or 4 ways. Just do the fucking one that sells the best and be done with it.
And Burger King is constantly coming out with new things.
Because they're trying too much. They just need to slow down, go back to their roots, and do, you know what? Do your classic is it char grilled? Flame broiled.
Flame broiled.
Which is, I think, is the best burger.
Just stick to that.
Make the patty a little bit bigger. Give these people something to eat.
Stick to that.
And let McDonald's do their thing. I mean, McDonald's has the fries going on. That's about pretty much it.
You know what? And they got a couple other things going on.
I mean, if McDonald's came back with their fries and chicken wraps, they'd be number one again.
The other one that keeps coming out with new things on a weekly basis is Arby's. It seems like they always have a new sandwich.
Yeah, and that's another one that's failing.
I mean, just stick with what you're good at. Arby's is the roast beef sandwich. Just do that. Just do that.
They did have those market fresh sandwiches.
Yeah.
You remember those from way back when? I think they still have a version of it now.
Were they any good?
Oh, I had a favorite one. It was basically a chicken Caesar salad, but it was, how do I say this? It was like the really thick deli cut, like chicken breast.
Okay.
And it was on that really thick good bread. Oh, it was so good. They got rid of it.
It's where? Arby's?
It was, but this was like 2000.
Now I'm hungry. Now I don't think we should make dinner tonight. I think we should get fast food. You know what I want? I hate Subway, but I want to go get the footlong churro.
Oh, and the cookie. They have a cookie.
Damn.
Yeah, a chocolate chip cookie.
Footlong cookie. All right, so I got a couple. Yeah. How's that for a transition? I'm just gonna keep going. I have a couple updates from our last episode. I think I said something about Evel Knievel's son when we were talking about the new Evel Knievel museum that's coming here to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about Evel Knievel's son has taken over, and he's also riding his motorcycle and doing death-defying things. Well, it turns out he's dead. Robbie died last year of cancer.
Oh.
But his younger brother, Kelly, is still alive. So Kelly Knievel, which is actually a pretty cool name, Kelly Knievel.
I do like the name Kelly for a guy. I think it's awesome. But I don't actually know, was Evel his real name?
No, probably.
It wasn't.
Well,
It's spelled differently, and it's always been spelled that way, so I assume maybe it
now
could
I got
be.
something else to look up. Maybe it's short for something, like a longer name.
I mean, maybe he had like hippie parents or something. I don't know.
Anyway, I wanted to tell you about Kelly Knievel. He lives here in Vegas, and he owns a pizza restaurant in Las Vegas down on Fremont Street called Evil Pie.
I don't hate this idea.
Yeah. Well, it's been open for years. It's themed with memorabilia from his late father, and what he did. And their motto is live hard, ride fast, eat pizza.
I feel like this thing should be like a traveling show.
The pizza restaurant?
No, the museum.
Oh, okay. But we're talking about the pizza restaurant this week. We talked about the museum last week. Anyway. But you can talk about whatever you want.
No, that's okay.
No, you can. I should give you the fuck button when you don't like what I say. Have you seen the fuck button?
Yeah, not in a while, but I've seen it.
Fucking incredible.
And then you press it again, it says something different.
Yeah.
Hashtag fuck you.
It's kind of fun. I don't know what you're supposed to do with it, but anyway, I thought that their hours of operation was interesting. Sunday through Thursday, they're open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. And Friday and Saturday night, they're open from 11 a.m. to 4:20 a.m. So I'm guessing Kelly Knievel likes to smoke pot. Why else would you stay up until 4:20 in the morning?
They're not in a casino, right? They're just on the street.
They're on Fremont Street, so somewhere down there. I don't know. They're street side. Yeah. So that's a little update from last week. And also, we talked about Graceland going up for auction. That's not going to happen. As we were putting out the show last week, a judge heard the case and stopped it from happening, agreed with Lisa Marie's daughter that this company doesn't really have any claim to Graceland. So it's not going to happen. And the company is now backing down. They're not going to fight it. They're not going to appeal it. But they're the ones that tried to say that Lisa Marie, when she was still alive, borrowed $3.8 million from them and never paid it back. And she put the Graceland up for, what do they call it? Collateral. The museum and acreage that is worth between $400 and $500 million. So she put the whole thing up for collateral for a $3.8 million loan. I mean, the whole thing is fishy.
It sounds weird.
Sounds very fishy. Anyway, the museum's open. You can go see.
And you know what? And if it turns out that this is true, that this company, what is it, a bank?
It's some kind of lending company.
If they try to do things fraudulently, you just turn around and just sue them for everything they got.
I know. I would sue the shit out of them.
You just sue the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
That's what's worth taking the court, not the bullshit stuff.
Agreed. I agree. Stuff like that. You gotta hit them back. We've talked about this before. J-Lo's not having a great year, as you guys know, if you follow such things. But now the New York Post is reporting this week that she had been in negotiations with MGM Grand here in Vegas for a 90-show residency. And they were going to pay her $1 million per show. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
When she was at Planet Hollywood about 8 to 9 years ago, she did a 3-year stint there. She did 150 shows, and she was paid $500,000 a night, which is still a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
$1 million a night is great, too. What's that take-home pay?
I mean, yeah.
$650,000 maybe?
I know. But, I feel like there's some avenues that MGM could try. Number one, do greatest hits, because that's all anyone wants to see. The last album was miserable. I got up from that movie. It was horrible. But why couldn't they do a test run? Give her 5 nights, right?
See how it goes. Tell her that she could get, a percentage of tickets, whatever it is. And then if, things go well, then you do it. I think 1 million is way too much. Well, the New York Post inside source tells them, some source inside MGM's, that they're a little scared because her summer tour is not selling very well. She's already canceled 7 dates on the tour. It was originally supposed to be a tour for the new album, and then she changed it to a greatest hits tour, and it's still not selling really well. But she also picked really big venues like T-Mobile.
Massive venues.
Yeah, where our hockey plays. So she should have gone smaller.
She needs to be like a Dolby.
Right, like a 4,000 or 5,000 seat.
If you're going to do that many shows, you have got to go small. You got to go small.
Yeah.
She's trying to do freaking Taylor Swift, and it's just not working.
Well, She ain't no Taylor Swift.
No.
I love her to death, but she ain't no Taylor Swift.
Oh, there's all kinds of shit on the internet. She's just a horrible person, miserable person to work for.
J-Lo? I hate hearing stuff like that. Anyway, the only good thing that's happening right now is her new movie on Netflix. Atlas is the #1 streaming movie on Netflix and has been for about a week and a half. So even though it's gotten pretty negative reviews, it's some kind of AI thing.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah. Despite ongoing wars around the world, a nasty presidential campaign, and devastating weather, I mean, half of Texas doesn't even have electricity as we speak. This is one of the biggest stories of the past week. Did you see this?
Oh, I saw it.
Kevin McAllister's house is for sale. This is an iconic house. I put a picture here so you could look at it and see how stately it is. You guys all know it if you've seen the movie Home Alone and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. They use the exterior of this house an hour outside of Chicago. It's beautiful. It was built in 1921. It's in a town called Winnetka, and it's just over 9,000 square feet, and they listed it for $5.25 million.
Wow.
Now, you should see the inside. I only gave you one picture of the inside. I showed you the movie theater, which...
Oh, I watched a video that was posted all over the internet.
It's a gorgeous... They did a reno in 2018, so it looks nothing like it used to.
Oh, some of the kitchen's still the same.
Right.
And you can kind of place things.
Yeah, and the iconic stairs when you walk through the front door, they're still there, but it's all cleaned up and modernized now, and it's gorgeous.
I love a brick home.
But they do have a nice movie theater, and the only thing in their house that has anything to do with Home Alone is they have a Home Alone poster in their home movie theater.
And the Lego.
And the
That's
Lego
Kevin.
of Kevin, yeah.
Yeah.
But would you agree that this movie theater is not nearly as cool as our movie theater?
Ours is much nicer.
Ours is much nicer.
For one, if I owned this, I mean, this house is pretty damn majestic, right?
Yeah.
It's like, take out those windows in the damn theater.
You can't have windows in your movie theater.
No.
Now, they do have blackout drapes on them, but
I know.
you cannot have windows in a movie theater.
Take out the windows, and that way you get more wall space. Hang movie posters and have fun.
And if you don't want to go to the expense of taking the windows out, you could just get a contractor come in or a handyman and build like inserts.
Inserts for
And
the
like
thing.
and
Leave the
then
window.
frame it.
Much
you know?
cheaper.
Yeah, much cheaper. And then if someone else buys the house later, they can take it out and still have their windows.
Yes, and that's actually probably the best option because then it has resale value for, $1,000. The guy can come and take out the inserts and boom, now you have another master.
That's
Albeit with maybe a stair
Yeah.
for chairs.
That's what I would do.
But,
Anyway.
but that's just a frame like we have that stairs.
Yeah.
It's probably just busted down. It's just wood.
Exactly. So anyway, do you have any interest, Dale, in selling our house and moving to Chicago?
I am not moving to the state of Illinois.
It's too fucking cold there. Way too cold there. It is a gorgeous house. Maybe we can recreate it somewhere else. That would be fun.
There's no brick homes in the desert.
Not very many. Speaking of iconic houses, maybe you guys heard about this. I saw this first on CBS. What was it? Saturday morning, maybe.
Maybe.
Marilyn Monroe's Brentwood, California house, of course, doesn't belong to her anymore. The current owners want to tear it down, and they are suing the city of Los Angeles for blocking their plans, and they're calling it an abuse of power. They state that Marilyn Monroe occasionally lived in the house for a mere 6 months before she died from suicide 61 years ago, allegedly. Right?
That's what they say.
Some people think the Kennedy brothers had her killed.
She knew too many secrets.
Well, she wanted to talk about her relationships with them. That's the conspiracy theory.
Oh, I think it's known that JFK was a womanizer.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, I have no doubt. I have no doubt that it's true.
Maybe not womanizer, but he was certainly a player.
Yeah, but we have no proof that the Kennedys killed Marilyn Monroe. But anyway,
just womanizer doesn't mean he killed Marilyn Monroe.
no. But yes. But
They
the point
certainly had sex.
Oh, absolutely. But the point of this story is that there are people in Los Angeles who have nothing to do with the house, do not own the house. They want it to be designated a historic cultural monument and preserved. And they want to force the current owners to keep it as is.
Well, then they could buy it from me,
That's what I say.
and it would be damn expensive.
The current owners also reminded Los Angeles in their suit that the house has had 14 different owners since Marilyn Monroe died and has been remodeled on the inside many times. So it's not even the same house inside, just on the outside. Apparently, the full city council is going to hear the case next month in June, whether or not these poor people are allowed to tear down the house and build something different there.
Yeah, because the house, while, it might be iconic, it's weird. The thing is weird.
It's just a little one-story bungalow.
Yeah, and the property is kind of nice from what I've seen.
Listen, if you own something, if you own a piece of property, I think you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Well, maybe not everything. I mean, you can't.
No, I mean,
You
if there's
can't turn it down. You can't make a weed farm.
No, and you can't open a 7-Eleven in the middle of a. I get that. There are zoning regulations.
I know. I'm being crazy.
You're being facetious. But yeah, maybe there's an HOA. But the idea that someone else can tell you what to do with your house is just kind of ridiculous to me.
Right, because if they do that and they happen to lose and the city or the county doesn't want to or have to buy it,
Yeah.
these people are doomed. They can't do anything with it.
I know. What would you do with it? So apparently, I didn't write this down on the script, but they don't live in the house. They live next door, but they own it. And I don't know what they've been renting it or maybe using it as their guest house. But they want to expand their house, and that house is in the way.
Oh, yeah, then give them a bigger property.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But I would think if you did live next door, why don't you just connect your house to that one? And then you could, when people come over, you could say, would you like to sleep in the room where Marilyn Monroe committed suicide? I mean,
I don't know.
That's what I would do.
I don't know.
I wouldn't tear it down. I'd be like, yeah, Marilyn died right here. Good night.
Why couldn't you say that, would you like to stay in the place where she lived or slept? Not where she died.
Well, but she did die in the house.
Of course.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a fun story. Here, let me press my fuck button again.
Fuck this.
Another story, which I only know about this story because of your sister, Dale.
Really?
Your sister, Tracy, texted me this story because she thinks we should buy it.
Where the hell are we going to put it?
Going up for auction next month, June 12th through the 15th in Los Angeles, is the light-up dance floor from the classic, iconic movie Saturday Night Fever. The one that John Travolta's character danced on in his white suit. It's expected to sell for $300,000.
Wow.
If you want to measure your basement to see if it'll fit, the floor is 24 by 16 feet and features 288 light bulbs to create flashing patterns.
Wow.
And I told her that we were recently at an expo and we saw these floors for sale, and I bet the ones that are for sale now are much, much nicer than the ones that were available
And
back in the
cheaper.
70s.
And cheaper.
A hell of a lot cheaper.
Have you ever in your life danced on one?
I used to dance at Polyesters in Washington, D.C., and didn't they have something similar to that?
When have you ever danced at Polyesters in Washington, D.C.?
I did before it collapsed. Yeah.
Because that's where that was where my story was going.
Okay, go. Tell your story then. But yes, I used to go there before I knew you.
Well, I went there with the radio station when I worked at the radio station.
Did you dance on the light-up floor?
No, I was working. Well, actually, yes, I did. When we were done with our job and we loaded up the van and went back inside and had cocktails.
Nice. Did you have any desire to buy it?
No.
The floor, the iconic floor, lived in a Brooklyn, New York disco for many, many years before the disco closed down, and an employee bought it. I don't know what he did with it, but he's been holding on to it all these years, and now he's going to sell it.
Well, I assume it comes in pieces.
Well, of
And there's got
course.
to be like a control board somewhere.
Certainly, but this was the 1970s, so it can't be that sophisticated,
And
right?
because I'm probably thinking the control box is as big as this monitor here.
Probably. Also available at the Hollywood Legends auction that takes place in June is the Ark of the Covenant from the first Indiana Jones movie. They want to start bidding at $70,000 for that. And then the bowling costume that Jeff Bridges wore in The Big Lebowski, starting bids $200,000. Now, why is his bowling costume more expected? get more than the Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones.
Right. And if I were the owner of these two artifacts, I would do nothing with them until, what's his name?
Jeff Bridges
and
Harrison Ford
pass away.
And then they'd be worth more money.
They'd be worth so much more money. And I would do it the very next day.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I would wait. I mean, these aren't young people we're talking about here. It's going to make so much more money.
Oh my God, I love Jeff Bridges so much. He's so good in The Old Man. He's good in everything he does. Anyway.
I do like some Jeff Bridges.
We're not buying any of these things.
No.
But it's fun to talk about. Speaking of selling things, I didn't know this was a thing until this week. And maybe there are people out there listening to the show who knew that these were rules, but I had no idea they were because we're not in the market for these vehicles. But apparently, companies like Tesla and Ferrari, Bugatti, Rolls-Royce, they have rules about what you can do with your cars, even though you might be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for them. They still put rules on you. And people like Justin Bieber and Kim Kardashian broke the rules and now are allegedly on blacklists. Did you know about this?
I think I did.
So
there were some.
Justin Bieber bought a white Ferrari 458 Italia F1 edition and decided sometime after he bought it that he wanted it to be blue. So he took it to a custom place and they wrapped it. And he also changed the tires at the same time. Well, Ferrari found out about this because I'm sure Justin tweeted it or something.
Sure.
And they put him on the blacklist. He's not allowed to buy a Ferrari again. Not from Ferrari. Which is just ridiculous. Wow. You're really going to put Justin Bieber on your shit list because he changed his white car to a blue car?
If you can do it, you can do it.
50 Cent talked shit about his Ferrari online when the battery died and he had to have it towed. And he actually posted pictures of the Ferrari being towed on his social media and complained about it dying. Ferrari saw it and said, that's against the rules. You're not supposed to speak ill about Ferrari. And they put 50 Cent on the blacklist. Allegedly. Kim Kardashian was blacklisted because she accepted a Ferrari as a wedding gift from a Malaysian businessman.
See, I just don't think that's fair. I think the Malaysian businessman might be able to get blacklisted.
Yeah.
But if it was given to me as a gift, I don't fucking know.
Why would you blacklist
Because I'm certainly not going to say no.
Right. Also, Kim, by the way, owns a Cybertruck. Did you know that?
You know what? Then if I were Kim and I knew I was going to be blacklisted for the Ferrari and I had Kim's money,
yeah,
I would talk shit about Ferrari every fucking day.
I really would. I would too. Floyd Mayweather Jr. was blacklisted by Ferrari because he sold it less than a year after he bought it.
I did know that was a rule. The reselling of a car at a certain period of time.
It's also a rule that Cybertruck has. Tesla, not a regular Tesla, but a Cybertruck, you cannot sell it within a year of buying it or you're subject to a $50,000 fine. What the fuck? Who the fuck would agree to pay the fine? I'd say, fuck you, Elon. I'm not paying it.
I assumed you signed a contract when you bought the Cybertruck.
Is it
so maybe fuck yeah, you are paying.
But why does Tesla care?
I don't fucking know. I think it's all weird. I don't want a Cybertruck anyway. They're ugly as shit.
The Cybertrucks are dumbass things. I just don't understand.
I don't get it.
I think that maybe Kim bought one because she already owns everything else. And she was like, well, I got to have one of those too.
What else are you going to do with all this money?
Yeah. Changing gears completely. I didn't know this was a thing until this week. I learned a lot of stuff this week. Did you know that Disneyland and Disney World inject scents into the parks?
I mean...
So I know hotels have been doing it for years. Like when you walk into a W hotel, it's a certain scent. When you walk into the Delano here in Vegas, there's a certain scent. We've actually seen the scent machines.
You can see the machines, yeah.
It's a very specific smell that they want their hotel
You can buy them for your home.
You can. And I think that's a great idea.
And you connect them to your HVAC.
Yeah.
Which I think is brilliant.
And if you guys out there,
we should do it.
If you guys out there listening to the podcast want your house to smell like Dale and Scott's house, we'll sell it to you. It's called Ode to Dog.
Yeah, we'll take Charlie. We'll stick his ass up in the HVAC return, and you can smell dog and ass and
Well,
farts and
it's
burps
sticks that farts all day.
all day.
Yeah. The reason I brought this up is because the new themed, they took out Song of the South themed Splash Mountain at both Disneyland and Disney World, and they're turning them both into Tiana's Bayou Adventure based on the Princess and the Frog movie, which I'm excited about, and a lot of people are excited about. And the one in Disney World is opening June 28th, and the one here in Disneyland on the West Coast, we don't have a date for, but it's sometime probably this summer.
Okay.
But what they're planning to do is pump the smell of fresh baked beignets around the attraction so that you feel like you're in New Orleans.
Nice. It's just donuts.
But if you really wanted people to feel like they were in New Orleans, wouldn't you pump in the smell of pee, sweat, and stale beer? And what does a flood smell like? Like a musty.
Oh my God.
Well, speaking of musty smells, apparently Disney does pump musty smells into the queue line around the Haunted Mansion. So
Yeah, that's to get all your senses ready.
Yeah. They also pump the smell of fresh baked bread on Main Street and dirty diapers at Dumbo's Flying Machine. I want to pump smells into things.
Well, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about this, I actually think it would be pretty cool to get that system that pumps through your HVAC.
I do too. I think especially with dogs in the house.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
Yeah. It does help that we don't have any carpeting in our house except in our movie theater. That really helps keep the dog smell down.
If I could get the scent of a what are those things? The plug-ins that you put in the outlet?
Yeah.
Of like clean linen
Yeah,
or
those-
morning rain.
Yeah, those are favorites.
Those are like the two because they're subtle, but they have a fresh smell. I wouldn't do
Yeah.
anything other than that.
Yeah. Not 20-year-old taint.
Especially not beignets.
You missed my 20-year-old taint joke.
I'm not going there with you.
You guys know that stupid people do stupid shit for money, but
Yeah.
guess what? It's paying off for Dana White. Dana White is the CEO of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. That's the UFC. Aren't they based here in Vegas?
Who? Oh, yeah.
UFC?
Yeah.
Dana White is very, very wealthy. He's worth over $500 million. And one of the reasons he's getting so
Banned
wealthy...
from most of the casinos.
Why?
Apparently he's very good at poker or something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he also plays blackjack.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he plays $75,000 a hand.
And that's the other thing, too, is that he wants to bet more than what's allowed, and then
Yeah.
he gets frustrated at doing it.
Dana's smart, though. He's younger than we are. He started the Power Slap Championship. We've talked about this on the show.
It's a ridiculous thing.
It's beyond stupid. I mean, I hate boxing because it's just so barbaric that you're just hitting someone to try to knock the sense out of them. But this is open-handed slaps across the face as hard as you can.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. So I can't wait to go. Power Slap 8 is taking place here in Vegas June 28th at the newest mega resort on the Strip, the Fontainebleau. And it will be streamed internationally.
Fontainebleau, the Fountain Blue, the Fontainebleau. I've heard it pronounced so many ways. I don't even know how to fucking say it.
I'm never going there. So I will be watching this online if I watch it at all. But I don't think I will be watching it. And I think I know where this whole came from. Dana White and his wife were once secretly filmed at a Mexico resort getting into a fight where she slapped him and he slapped her back. Hence, the sport was invented. That's true. It's true. It really happened. It's on tape. You can Google it. You can probably find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Anyway, isn't that crazy?
It's
Power
It's
slap.
stupid, but
Power slap.
It's whatever makes money.
They have both a super heavyweight division and a welterweight. I don't know, what do they call them? Welterweight league? Not league, but championship.
Fuck if I know. I
So-
just seen clips online.
Big guys and little guys. Yeah. But do they let girls do it? I don't think so.
I have seen the girls do it.
They do it too?
Yes, I've seen the clips online.
Jesus Christ. So dumb. Here, let me press my fuck button.
Well, I guess I'm fucked again.
I want to revisit a topic because we've talked about it on the show before. We talked about retailers constantly asking you to round up for charity when you check out. And I talked about how I always say no because if I'm going to give money to charity, I'm going to do it to the charities I want to give it to, and I also want to get the tax write-off.
Right.
So when you do that rounding up thing, you're giving the money to the corporation, and then they in turn are making the donation, and they're the ones that get to take the tax write-off, even though it was paid for by their customers. Well, it turns out that it's working because most people feel guilty when they say it, so they don't say no. They say yes.
I have done this because I know that, if a 30-cent donation is not even worth the paper to be given to me to write it off on.
Yeah, it's not even worth the time, but it's working.
So individually, it's not worth it.
Right.
But collectively, yeah, Domino's is doing well.
Domino's Pizza just pledged $174 million to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital based on 1 year's worth of rounding up. That's a lot of money.
It's a shit ton. I mean, it's going to a great place, so I'm glad my 30, 60 cents, 40 cents, whatever.
So when you order Domino's pizzas on the app, do they ask you to round up?
I mean,
Because isn't that how most people are doing it now?
I guess so. I mean, we haven't done Domino's in forever.
Rounding up racked in 24% more money in 2022 than it did in 2020 for a total of $749 million.
Damn.
Crazy. Along those same lines, did I tell you this story? I talked about it on Facebook. I was tip duped last Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name the casino and I'm not going to name the pizza joint, but I went to get pizza. I was by myself. You weren't there. I wanted to try this pizza place. I wanted to try it forever. So I went. I got in line. It's a service counter. It's not a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah.
So you go up to the counter and you tell them what you want and you pay, and then you go around the corner and wait for them to hand it to you. So I order a 1 slice of pepperoni pizza and a Modelo can beer.
Right.
And I pull out my credit card because they don't take cash.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have cash anyway. Whoever does. And I put my card in, and it defaulted to 22% tip. But then there was a little arrow. I could have gone down to 20 or 15. Those were the only options, 22, 20, and 15. When I tried to change it to 15, the little arrow wouldn't move. And I said to the guy, how do I make a selection here? And he said, oh, it's stuck on 22. And I'm like, so I have no option beyond 22? And he's like, nope. Now that sounds like a scam to me.
See, this makes me want to go tomorrow and let me go by myself and do it.
And you'll abandon the transaction?
And I will do that. Yes.
Yeah.
I will certainly walk away and said, then I can't, I'm not buying this.
So I would have abandoned the transaction, but I was hungry and I really wanted to try the pizza.
But the problem with that also
it's illegal.
Is that you've already probably have been charged.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe
no, not when you get a tip prompt. It's not like a restaurant where you give them your credit card, they run it, and then they bring it back to you, and then you add the tip.
It makes me want to go tomorrow and do the same thing.
I do want to,
and then walk away.
I would like to go tomorrow to that particular
and then I will
place.
walk away.
So the beer wasn't cold enough, and the pizza was too oily. So I don't even suggest that you go there again. But I'm just pissed off about this 22-cent default. This is a place where, okay, I'm sure the guys behind the counter work hard. But all he did is hand me a beer, and then someone else handed me a piece of pizza on a paper plate. Does that...
So what was your total cost?
$30!
And they wanted 22% on top of that.
No, they got 22. That was $30 with the 22%.
Oh, no.
It's bullshit.
No.
I should complain to our contact over there because we do know someone that works there, but she probably has nothing to do with that.
That's
kind
nothing.
of thing.
And then you put her in the middle of something she can't do anything about, and we know that. So I wouldn't even bring it up.
It's bullshit, though.
But it makes you want to go back, and then I'll do it with the whole purpose of this happening again, which is probably very likely.
But what do you feel like when you go to a counter type place, and there are plenty of them around? Like you go to a Sparrow or a what's the other place that you might go? Like what's that Chinese chain?
Yeah.
Panda Express.
Oh God, it's awful.
Do you or even Shake Shack? Do you feel like you need to tip at a restaurant like that?
No.
The prices are already ridiculous.
No.
And they're just handing you the food.
Right.
Those people
Because
should
they're
be,
actually getting a wage more than a waitress.
right.
They're actually getting a wage.
A tipping situation in a restaurant, and I'm not against tipping. Believe me, I'm a very good tipper. I tip very, very well at valets. I tip very, very well at sit-down restaurants where someone's serving me. When we go to restaurants, we go to strip steak. I tip 25%.
Yes, but that's deserving. I mean, that food
They're working
is
for
fucking
us.
amazing. The service there is fucking amazing. We've become friends with those people.
Yeah.
Everything about that place, yes, you need to tip appropriately.
Yeah, I
but if
agree.
you're handing me a warm beer and a piece of pizza that's already been made, you're just warming it up, then no.
I think so too. It's a crazy world we live in, man.
It's getting out of hand is what it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to go because we haven't had dinner yet, but we should go to that place, and we'll see if it's still happening. Because if it's still happening and they haven't fixed it, it's wrong. It's just so wrong. But I want to tell you what, since we're not going to be talking to you during the month of June, we will be back on July 3rd, the day before Independence Day. But a couple things I'm really excited about that are coming out that you might want to watch too, especially if you're about my age. Brats is a documentary about the 1980s Brat Pack.
Oh.
It's coming to Hulu on June 12th. Andrew McCarthy made it, and it features Emilio Estevez, Rob Lowe, Demi Moore, Ali Sheedy, Molly Ringwald, Mare Winningham, John Cryer, Leah Thompson, Timothy Hunt, and so many others. So many classic movies. If you guys have seen St. Elmo's Fire, The Outsiders, Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, you guys know these people.
That actually might be something really fun to
I think
watch.
it's gonna be really fun.
I've seen all these. Actually, you know what? I have not seen The Outsiders.
It's really good. But
I've seen them all, but Outsiders.
My favorites on this list are probably St. Elmo's Fire and Pretty in Pink.
Cinemas Fire, Pretty in Pink. I'm with you on that.
Oh, and 16 Candles has some great scenes in it. Long Duck Dong. St. Elmo's Fire is one of my favorite movies. And a friend of Dale and mine actually has a cameo in St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh, that's right.
His name is Freddie. He owns 2 restaurants in Virginia, one in Virginia and one in Delaware. And he was a waiter in a scene with Emilio Estevez and, what's her name? Anyway, they filmed it in Georgetown in D.C. and he was in it, which is kind of fun. It's fun to see him pop up because he looks exactly the same as he does now.
Yeah.
And now he's like 67 years old or something. Also, want to remind you that Criminal Minds, the reboot, season 2, comes to Paramount Plus June 6th.
Get it right.
That's
Criminal Minds.
Evolution. Also, I had to tell your grandmother about this one, Dale. Pat Sajak's last day hosting Wheel of Fortune airs on June 7th. It's a Friday. And then also Celine Dion's new documentary on Prime Video, June 25th. It's called I Am Celine Dion. And man, she's going through it with her stiff person syndrome, which apparently she's noticed the problems or the symptoms starting way back in 2008.
Wow.
But wasn't diagnosed until 2022. Her main goal in life is to get back on the stage and sing again. So she's working very hard to make that happen.
All right.
She's also doing a primetime interview with Hoda Kotb from the Today Show, but doing it at night on June 11th on NBC. So if you're interested in that,
Okay.
you can watch that. And then the only other thing I have is that there's a big new Apple thing happening, right?
It's my favorite time of year. It's like Christmas, man.
Yeah. This is the big one of the year, right?
Yes, this is all about software
Yeah.
and not hardware.
So the Apple keynote is happening on June 10th. And if you guys have Apple TV, you can, well, I guess, is that the only place you can watch it, is Apple TV?
I think they do it at Apple TV, and I think they host it on YouTube as well.
Very cool. Well, I know our friend, I won't give her a name, but I bet she knows a lot about what's coming out. Anyway, sorry, this is our last episode of the spring. Our June break starts as soon as I press stop. And we'll be back on July 3rd. And we hope you have a good June.
Press stop.
Yeah, enjoy your first day of summer. We won't be here for it, but we'll tell you what's going on, what happened to us while we were gone.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
I do agree with you on that.